How many times have you heard these phrases?
Change is the only constant.
Is it too late to change?
If only I could, I'd really want to change this.
In this channel, you don't have to wonder. We are going to interview people who really make a difference to this world.
Let their stories inspire and empower you to create the change you want to see.
Who knows, you could be the next change maker.
Welcome to the Change Makers.
Hi, I'm Sakala.
And I'm Leo.
And welcome to another edition of the Change Makers. Today's guest, I would call him an adventure sports person. He is an adrenaline junkie. He has a day job, but his actual passion lies in something doing completely alternative. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Fahad Al Buenain. Hi Fahad, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Fahad, for the people who don't know who you are, which is very few people, can you please tell them what you do?
It's a long story, but for the audience, we'll try to make it brief. I'm passionate about sports. I've been doing lots of different sports for a while, since I was probably 10. So I remember playing tennis, I remember playing taekwondo, I remember playing football. I had the uniform of different clubs. I did not professionally commit to those because education for my parents was number one.
Very good.
So professionally, or not professionally, but I started dedicating time for sports the year I graduated from university.
Oh, okay.
So that was the turnover, because for me, for many years, I've been involved in lots of different activities. Not necessarily sports, but also outdoors activities, which all accumulated into the experience that I added at a later stage, or I benefited from. So the idea is that for many years, I've been doing a lot of things. I was part of the Boy Scouts since the 5th grade until, let's say, 10th or 11th grade.
Okay.
That's great.
So camping, staying outdoors, all of these things we've done. Even activities that requires us preschool. So part of the Boy Scout activities is that to go 2 weeks before the school opens at the end of the summer and prepare the school for the new year. So repaint and clean and wash the classes, and then we spend the night in the school in our classes.
Oh, lovely.
So this is one of the most beautiful experiences I had when it comes to Boy Scouts. Also plantation, we planted the mangrove where Qatar is.
Yes.
So before Qatar, before Aladdin Park,
Yes.
so we were Doha municipality required school students to participate. So they brought the Boy Scout and we planted. And I remember the mangrove trees growing higher than me, and every time my dad takes us out on the weekend, we pass by that area.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we say, all these trees I planted with my friends.
Yeah.
But then
That's
Qatar
great.
came and everything
Changed, yeah.
So, but again, sports has always been a passion. We wanted, me and my friends, when we started all of this together right after the university, and we've always said, we go to the gym regularly. But what else? At the end of the day, you know what I mean? So where can we take all this health, where is the stamina, where is this flexibility? Because we used to spend 4 or 5 hours at the gym between training, several disciplines, so gym, and then aikido, and then taekwondo. So we're doing martial art while we're working out in the gym. And we were saying, at the end, where do we reach? You know, you can train out throughout your life, and then if you don't compete, you don't feel like you're utilizing it for something that adds value.
Yes.
So it's more or less for your own health benefit.
Okay.
But let's try to use it somewhere.
So Fahad, can you say that this particular moment, when did you actually realize that, okay, I'm just doing this for sports and what's next? Was there like a certain specific defining moment that led you to realize, okay, let's take this out of the gym and bring this to the mountains and make an adventure out of it, really prove ourselves, push the envelope. So when was that moment?
This moment was 2011.
Okay.
So we want
So specific.
We've been there is an incident that my friend would remember. Talal. So we said, let's do something.
All right.
What can we do? He threw in the Kilimanjaro challenge.
Okay.
And he says, you know, online a lot of people are doing it, but here And I said, mountaineering, it's not even our...
we don't have mountains
here.
Yes, yes.
let's do it. He says,
Okay.
and I said, what about training? Where do we train? He says, we already train Thai boxing. We do Muay Thai 3 times a week. So we just do long walks. Let's go online and check what else you require.
Okay.
So for about 4 months, we were doing only Muay Thai 3 times a week. And then on the weekend, we would do 6 to 8 hours walking with backpacks that are 8 to 12 kg
Okay.
Yeah,
and aspire.
Okay.
And then it'll take us 3 to 5 hours. And for 4 or 5 months, we were training for that only. And this led us to a lot of things, not only the mountains, but opened some social work and charity work as well for
Correct.
us.
Okay.
So because every question you always reflect, so every question leads to the other.
Yes.
When we did the mountain, or we were close 3 weeks before the mountain,
Yeah.
we said, let's visualize now we're there, let's and we're walking, we're camping on the way, we reach the summit.
Yes.
We're happy, we open the Qatar flag, we take pictures, people are proud, families, friends, we're proud of what we achieved.
Yeah.
And then what? And he says, what do you mean? I said, what did we add to humanity? What did we add to people? Is it that proud moment and then disappear forever?
Yeah.
Or we can do something. He says, what do you mean? I said, I read something online that people in Europe are doing challenges for charity. It's either to gather a certain amount or to just raise awareness. So they don't need to gather money, but they can just raise awareness about a certain cause.
Okay.
He says, okay, let's do it. So we started getting in touch with charity organizations in the UK. And this is 2 months before the trip. Until the 3rd week. And then we asked the question again, why are we going so far? I mean, the charity organization gave us a page, gave us an account. They gave us all the details. They said, all you do is ask people to log in into this link, enter their details and transfer money from anywhere in the world.
Correct.
And the money can go to different causes. So they gave us all the information required, almost created the page for us. They were just waiting for our approvals. And I said, do you think local charity organization would do something like this? He says, I have no idea. I said, how about I drop an email? Googling, got emails of marketing, emails of info, emails of reception, whatever it is, at charity organizations. And they responded to us about, let's say, 2 weeks. One organization responded to us. And he said, and he called me, said, I received an email. Can I see you? And I said, when? He says, today. I said, well, I get off work at 3:30. Can I see you at 4? He says, I finish work at 3, but I'll wait for you.
All right.
I came and he says, you guys just fell off the sky. I've been working in a UK-based charity organization for 25 years. And they just hired me 6 months ago.
Oh, wow.
And I've been doing this challenge for cause. And we've done lots of things. I mean, run between Brighton and London. I don't know, 90 miles. Whoever gathers, 10 people are running, 10 people have 10 different causes.
Okay.
And then this guy gets 200 pounds, this guy they get 3, this guy makes 1,000, whatever it is,
Yeah.
And then it goes to the causes.
Yeah.
And the money they collect is from their family, friends, whoever watches them and monitors their progress. So I wanted to do something like this, but the market is not ready.
Yeah.
So how about I start this concept with you, and if it works, then we'll just spread it, and then we repeat it, and then we'll just
Fantastic.
Great initiative.
We gathered 1.6 million.
Oh, wow.
Built from schools. The cause was West Africa. It was Mali, Burkina Faso, Morocco, and Senegal, and Mauritania.
Fantastic.
We accumulated
Education.
1.6 million, and it was for education, for wells, for building of bakeries, for supporting families.
Okay, so
training,
economic and social.
economic development for families mostly. And
Great.
that was our open doors, and we did it about 6-7 times with charity organizations, all challenges for a cause. So
That's
that was
inspiring.
become, and our slogan became challenge for life. So تحدي من أجل الحياة, challenge for life. And we've been following and using this
for this whole
for everything
you
we
do.
Exactly.
Did you have in your entire all this journey, have you had mentors? I mean, I'm assuming that you would have had a mentor, or you would have had somebody who you wanted to follow into this particular path. Were there any mentors, anybody we stand out in terms of what you wanted to do?
To be honest, Anna, my friend, I would always call him my coaches, because I would also consult, and then he would tell me yes or no.
Okay.
So I used to tell him, you're the mirror that I want to listen to. In terms of mentors, there are always people that we aim to to follow their path, whether they're in sports, whether they are in life. But to be honest, and for all the different challenges, one mentor will not be sufficient because we do a lot of things that have nothing to do with each other.
Correct. So you have multiple mentors.
So we have, exactly. I mean, people that we aim to admire or aim to follow or aim to copy at certain fields. Because if you look at the differences, for example, the adventure sports, let's say sailing. So that's one aspect of it. We sailed with Qatar to India.
Yes.
5,200 kilometers or 2,500 kilometers.
He landed
up
in
and down.
Bombay.
Wow.
We reached in Bombay.
Yeah. Did a lot of shopping and came back.
And we
Sailed back.
we didn't have to worry about sailed back. We didn't have to worry about weights. So we just carry it, whatever. And then we took a motorbikes and we rode to Turkey. That's another challenge.
That's great.
I aim to cycle in as many countries as I can. So we did so far about 12, 13 countries. Let's say 2,500 kilometers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We do the mountaineering aspect of it. So there are lots of people that we aim to follow and learn their tricks.
Correct.
And learn from as well. With the new technology, access to information became a lot easier than
Yes,
before.
absolutely.
yes,
So you can always go, and you don't have to follow a certain path.
Yeah.
We have a performance instructor, and he's following a certain. He always likes to follow a certain school, but he's open to us challenging his way or path or methods. And he always says, "Guys, I would give you the one that I am confident of. I'm not saying I'm the only method of training or performance development, but this is the way I know. You guys bring ideas. I will learn from the experience. You will learn from the experience." But there are always, now with the access to information, you know how it is in the past. Your teacher tells you everything, you just follow
Yes.
blindly. Because you don't have anybody else to
Yeah,
go
you
and
don't
listen to.
question
You
him.
don't question him.
You don't question.
Well, it seems to me that you have a lot of achievements already in sports, in adventures, in the charities, in all the causes that you've helped. Now, how does all of this come together and help you achieve something that's personal? How does this all help you with something that's outside of adventure?
To be honest, the skills we learned from the challenges and the adventures brings us, reflects on our life.
The
For
discipline.
example, the discipline, the time management, the planning and the organizations, the multitasking, the mental strength, the adaptation to changes, the flexibility, the resilience, all of those components that without going through them in reality, they wouldn't. There are certain things that we always talk. For example, we always talk about our reflex. For example, or hand-eye coordination.
Correct.
I think from all the stuff I've done, boxing was the only sport that gave me that. So we were sitting.
Would
my wife
be
will
with
always
martial
remember.
arts?
Yes, well, my wife will always remember we were sitting in a restaurant.
Something
and,
falls, you immediately catches.
a kid actually. I put my hand under his head, and I was surprised of my reflex before his dad could even saw what happened. So my hand landed between a few centimeters from his head banging on the
ground.
In a restaurant.
Excellent.
On the next table.
Excellent.
And I was saying, we reflect and saying, because my wife is there and she says, "Wow, that was fast. How did you see him? You're talking to me." I said, "I have no idea."
It becomes second nature.
So your
natural.
peripheral vision also
Seems
comes.
like it, And I would say, when you reflect on that and you say, where did we get that? And when I play with my kids, for example, they throw balls at me and then I would catch it without looking. And I remember I played tennis. And I remember how the ball would touch my hand and then I would run and get it and then come back if I don't hit it correctly. So there's certain things, Also the adaptation, for example, mountaineering. You push yourself not far beyond the red line, but so far that you cannot even see the red line behind you. And then every other terrain becomes absolutely simple. Every time, my friend who does mountaineering with me, every time we say, it's really tiring. And then we just reflect on how we felt in the mountain, and we say, with oxygen being here, we don't have a problem. We just do it. It's not like the mountain. Because for me, the most challenging adventure you could do is mountaineering.
We're going to talk about that in length because
Yes.
it's a
It's
huge
fascinating.
thing
It's
for
like
us.
a-
Yes?
It's,
Huh?
it's a
Yeah,
world. It's a world on its own.
Great,
It's
great.
a world on its own.
Yeah, so we'll just have a break, a quick break,
Yeah.
and we'll come back with more exciting things that you can tell us about.
Yeah.
All right.
Welcome to the Changemakers.
Okay, welcome back to the Changemakers. Today we are here with Mr. Fahad Al Buenain, and we are talking about adventures.
Yes.
He's someone who defies gravity, literally, for me, and he has a lot of things to share with us. So, for my next question, okay, this is something that's really interesting. You completed a 19-hour swim on the English Channel against the tide. Okay. Now, what motivated you to do that? What was the mindset behind all of those?
And I think, if
things?
I'm not mistaken, you were without a wetsuit.
Without a wetsuit.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is a purpose for that.
Yeah.
There's a reason behind it.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us something about this, please?
Sure. The journey started in 2018.
Okay.
So it's more of a build-up rather than a surprise. I'm swimming 19 hours.
Yeah.
But it's a journey. So what I mentioned earlier, when we were preparing for the Ironman, we were actually in Sri Lanka,
Okay.
70.3 in
Okay.
Colombo. So we were doing half Ironman.
Okay.
When we came back, our coach was there. And then we came back, he says, you guys did well. This is your first half Ironman. You've only done the sprint distance, which is 10%. The distance, it's a big jump from sprint distance to half Ironman. You don't have experience. You just got into
What is the
field.
sprint distance, if I may
The
ask?
sprint distance is 750 meters swim, 20k cycle, and then 5k running.
Okay.
And then we did we jumped to 1.9 kilometers, which is
Okay.
almost more than double.
More than double.
And
Yes.
then 90 kilometers cycle,
Oh, wow.
which is 4 times.
Yes.
And then 21 kilometers run, which is
Just five times. Yes. Yeah.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah. Almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and the difference was was about 5 months. So October we did our first sprint. February we did full Ironman, half
Half
Ironman.
Ironman.
April is the day, or May was the full Ironman,
Okay.
which
Wow.
I wasn't able to attend because
Correct.
of
Yeah.
work
because of
commitments.
the-
Yeah.
yeah.
So that was the journey. So we came back and he says, you guys are ready for Houston. We said, yes. He says, but I have something else for you. I said, what do you mean? He says, I have another challenge for you. I don't know how you guys are going to manage it both, but it's July. And we said, okay, what is it? He said, English Channel and relay. We said, okay. I said, I want both of you. And we're going to form a relay team, Qatar's first. And I said, where did this come from? He says, one of my athletes wanted to do it solo. And I told him, you're not ready now. How about you do it in a relay
In the
team
relay,
Yeah.
yes.
to get the experience and the feeling.
Okay.
And then you train and you build up to full. He says, okay, fine. And then you'll be first team and then first solo. And he says, okay, done. We said, okay, but how does it work? In May, we just train now without swimming. He says, you continue to swim. I'm just going to add to your regular training of cycling, running, and swimming, and then gym, and then yoga, and then flexibility, and then high intensity. So you continue, but I'm just
So
gonna
high,
add a
low,
little
high,
bit.
low, yeah.
I'm just going to add a little bit of swim to your
Yes, yes.
discipline. Well, he says, okay, fine. And then we started from February, immediately after the 70.3. We continued training of the Ironman, and then we just added a little bit of swimming. And then we did a lot of group, because now it's a team.
Yes.
And the idea is that he wanted to do 3. But he said, I don't know about people's commitment. You guys are super busy with your jobs. Yeah. So we built the team up to 7. And then he says we can drop. Every month somebody will drop.
We'll drop, yes.
And then at least the minimum we can do is 3. We cannot go below 3, otherwise it'll be pair rather than.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And the category will be complicated to change. We said, okay, fine. So we signed up 7 people. And then we all were ready on day 1. On the boat, the 7 of us. Everybody committed to sport, to the full training and the logistics, and we flew together, and it was a 7 teams relay. That's
Fantastic.
2018.
Wow.
We were welcomed by His Highness the Emir. He was in London at the same week, and we took picture and we gifted him the team's t-shirt. And we did it as the first Qatari team. And the diversity of the team was very different, you know. I mean, engineers to doctors to lawyers to me in PR and marketing. And,
Fantastic.
and we did not, I mean, some of us did not even know each other, you know. So the only one common was to train,
train.
love for training, love
Exactly.
for sports, love for
Exactly.
passion, and to make it our proud.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was the only thing that got us. And that was the beginning of the journey
Wow.
of the swimming.
I love what you said about the adding just a little bit of swimming to your already.
Don't believe him for a minute. It's more than a little bit of swimming.
How little bit or how more was that, like to be able to prepare you for the whole thing?
All right. So
Yeah.
the full Ironman training
Okay.
was 2 hours per day,
Okay.
2 to 3 hours per day, about 4 to 5 times a week. And then one day was 4 to 5 hours. Yeah, it can reach 7 hours.
7
This
hours.
is I mean, this is weekly. This is the build-up.
So, what was in the training process? What all did you do?
We did all of that.
So, you did swimming, everything,
Cycling,
all four.
everything, all
Everything.
the
All
3
four.
disciplines.
Yeah, but
know,
you
all
have
three
like
disciplines.
more special training for swimming just to prepare for the whole
Yes.
thing.
Yeah. So when we added a little bit of swimming, it was swimming coming instead of twice a week. It was coming about 4 times a week.
4 times
Okay.
a week.
So sometimes I would do an hour of running and then I'll do an hour of swimming instead of just doing massage and eating and hydrating, you know.
Yeah.
Or 2 hours of swimming, of running on the running day, and then I will do 45 to an hour of swimming.
Okay.
And because in the relay, the distance of swimming was not long, you know. So
Correct.
we were expecting, if it was 7, we would expect each to swim about 10K. Yeah. Solo, I swam 54K.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like Doha to Al Khor.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Swimming.
You have to see his path on the Instagram page.
So
He
that
was-
was that was the difference, you know. But for the solo, it was that's the plan. I mean, we expected that each will, if we did the 30 or 40 kilometers, we expected each to swim, let's say 10 to 15K.
So all of you trained in every single discipline.
No, that's
No.
the difference. Talal and I were the only ones who had a planned upcoming Ironman.
Ah,
The other 5
Just
were
focus on
only
swimming.
focusing on swimming.
Ah.
So we were joining them in the group training, and then each was training on their own, and then we would continue. And
Okay.
this lasted for us about February, March, April, until end of April.
So what were you training in swimming? Were you training on stamina or speed?
It was a combination of both.
Okay.
So it's always low intensity, high intensity, mix.
Correct.
Strength as well. So we had to add a little bit of for power and different tools that we use for swimming to add power. We were doing all this intervals training up and down.
Correct, correct.
So it was a combination of long distance,
Yes.
low intensity, or short distance, high intensity.
intensity.
You know? Or a combination of tapata, which is up and down interval training.
Wow, wow.
So it was always complex.
Wow.
But we have our application, we have our apps.
To monitor
We communicate
everything,
with the
yes.
coach. We
Okay.
have our performance coach, and we had our swimming coach. So for the performance coach was for all the other 3 disciplines.
Correct.
For swimming, we had specific technical.
Okay.
Because for us, swimming, when you swim from a young age, you're absolutely different than when you start learning to swim later on.
When did you start learning?
I didn't. I've never taken professional swimming classes
Yeah.
until I was, I don't know, a few years ago, just before the English Channel, professional, when we were doing Ironman. So I was.
But you have done scuba diving and diving and all.
Yes, but that's completely different.
Yeah, but at least you're not scared of the water. Like I'm
I know.
very
and
scared of the
water is
water.
my element.
Yeah, like my
naturally is
husband.
my element,
My
yeah.
husband cannot understand why I'm scared of the water, but I'm scared of the water.
When it comes to the fear or the love of water, the sea and the.
Yeah.
I'm a man of the sea.
My husband.
Naturally, you know. So
Yeah.
mountains is very bizarre. and unique
I
for
think
me,
he
you
was
know.
a fish in his previous life. My husband. Maybe even Fahad was.
I'm curious to know, during the whole training, the regimen that you went into, what was more difficult to overcome, the mental or the physical challenge of going through the whole thing?
Mental, definitely, because the whole thing is mental.
Okay.
But also the challenge is the timing, the scheduling, the planning,
Okay.
the running between places, you know. So my car was a closet, my mobile closet.
Correct.
Because I have to change, you know. I have to be at work and then change into shorts.
Correct.
And then go and pick up the kids and do something, go and
Yeah.
meet my friends, go and do different kind of activities. So
Yeah.
the alignment and the juggling of all these multitasks was the most challenging part.
Yeah.
And this is what a part-time athlete will always tell you, you know.
Correct.
Yes.
And the more people tell us, how can you do it? The more we get the motivation. Or you cannot do it. Because we have this a friend of ours who said, "No, guys, it's too cold. This is the 2018. No, guys, it's too cold. You're not going to do it. You're not going to be able to do it." And we said,
That spurred you
we'll
on.
say. Yeah, exactly. We said we looked at him and they said, "Okay, just watch us do it."
Yeah.
And then the same thing with the full distance, because the full distance was 14 degrees
Oh,
lowest, and highest was 16.5.
Oh man,
oh,
that's the
that.
highest already.
Yeah.
So you could go into having hypothermia.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
The number one failing
Yes.
reason for the English Channel
Yeah.
is hypothermia. It's the number one. Cramps and other things comes later, but yeah, because
really?
it's mostly related to the hydration
Yeah.
and the nutrition,
Yes.
and the drop of core temperature.
Correct.
Was
So-
the Wim Hof training available during that time? There was this
Yes.
guy who's
Yeah, I've done his
you've
online
done it?
class. Yes,
Ah, okay.
I've
All
done
right.
his online class.
What is this? Sorry, I
This is
have
the
to
guy
ask.
who's like branded as a
Iceman.
superhuman.
Iceman.
Yeah,
So
the
Oh,
Iceman.
yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Correct.
he's a guy who combines mental strength with breathing techniques
Exactly.
in order for him to withstand the cold water.
So that's part of your yoga also.
Yeah, so and I have a combination of two tools that helps me control myself in water, which is first, I'm a free diver, so I know how to properly manage my breathing.
Breath.
Breathing,
Yes.
yes.
Second, I'm a boxer and I know how to breathe while punching. So those combination of skills allows me to withstand water. And when I did his course, I was super happy because I did so well. But it was online.
Okay.
Online.
I evaluated myself and I did very well because I was able to measure the temperature at all the same measurement of ice.
Yeah.
And then withstand it at the same time, and because it's live, it's
Yes,
it's
yes.
recorded, but
Correct.
it's timed.
Correct.
All the sessions.
Yeah.
And I subscribed to it, and then I had my laptop and table, and I mean, I don't want to say this on the camera, but
Yeah.
I got a green garbage pen, the one on the streets,
Yes.
but brand new,
Just-
and then I submerged
ice-
myself,
with
and this was
ice
my
and all.
training, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was proper.
Amazing.
But
Fantastic.
That's just part of the stuff
Yeah.
I did to help with the cold management.
Yeah.
And it's cold management.
Yes, I know. I mean, I can't bear the cold. I have a problem with the cold. So imagine cold water and the sea and, all of it combination. Should we take a short break?
Yeah, let's take a
I
short
think we'll take a short break and we'll be back right after the break.
All right.
Welcome to the Change Makers.
Welcome back. We are in conversation with Fahad and me and Leo have a lot more to ask him. Leo, over to you.
Yes. They say there are two kinds of fears. First is the fear of public speaking. The second is fear of heights. Okay. When you were training for, your mountaineering journey and everything, how did you overcome, this fear of heights? What was the training behind all of it? What was the mental fortitude that you have to develop to, overcome the fear of heights?
All right. There's always a moment when somebody asks me, "Are you afraid of height?" I always remember this moment. We were on the Alps,
Yeah.
Okay.
and we did training. So after Kilimanjaro, we said, "Guys, we think that we don't have this natural dealing with the mountains because it's not our natural inhabitants."
Yes. Yes.
So how about we go and we take professional training courses now if we want to really proceed and go through this path.
Okay.
So we signed up with a UK-based company who does summer training camps in the Alps.
Okay.
Italian side, Swiss side, French side, all around
Which
the
is the
Alps.
most difficult?
The French side because it's the highest
Okay.
and it's the snowiest in comparison to the other
okay.
sides as well.
Yeah.
But we did the Italian and we did the French. We didn't do the Swiss at that time. So when we did the Italian side, I had a shoe, my rented mountaineering technical shoes was one size bigger than my feet.
Okay.
And I thought it's nice because I can do double socks.
And also your feet may
my
expand.
feet
May
is
expand,
high.
yeah. Huh.
But it was a wrong decision. My feet
Started
kept, my
slipping.
foot kept moving in.
So you got blisters.
So I got
in the end.
blisters. Blisters that even the guide was saying, "Ouch! How can you walk? How have you been walking since yesterday?" I said, "I don't know. I'm just sucking it up." And he says, "No, you're not going with us." So I missed the summit of the Gran Paradiso, which is the Italian side of the Alps. So we came back to Chamonix, and he says, guys, for you guys are stay. And for him, another instructor, a colleague of mine, is going to take him on to just cover some of the tips or some of the skills that he couldn't capture, which is crevasse work and
what does that mean?
a crevasse is all these big
Okay, got
holes
it.
in the snow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So some rescue training that I missed from the second day. So we went there. We came and we took the train and we took this cart all the way up to the mountain, 2,500, and then we came to a cave, ice cave, but it was so populated with tourists. So we skipped it and we went to a place that is least visited by tourists, so we can do our training. So we did all this crevasse and high. Then he says, he says, you have two ways to go back after 5 hours of training. And I said, which way? He says, Firafarata, which is this ladder. Or we just go back the same way. And I said, what's the difference? He says, this is gonna make your heart fall into your feet. And I said, but you require that because it has a lot of rope work as well for safety. I said, okay, let's do it. He said it's faster as well. Let's
faster.
do it. So we did the Via Ferrata, which is two big mountains. Each is like 1,000 meters high.
Oh, wow.
And then you have this steel ladder that goes all the way to a certain area. And then you cross a bridge, which is not a bridge. It's more of a path, a combination of wooden and steel cables.
Oh, my God.
This wide. And then you actually clip yourself.
Yes.
And then walk and then unclip when the needle or the nail is into the mountain. And then you unclip, you pass the nail, and then you clip. And throughout, I was asking myself, why am I still alive? Why am I still alive? I mean, I'm holding. How am I holding? I look down. And he says, don't look down if you're scared. And I said, yeah, but I have to face my fear. And I look down, and I've never been in this situation. So I came back, and I was Googling whether what we did was halal or haram. Was this suicide? Because suicide is frowned upon in Islam. And I said, is this considered suicide? And I came to the guys and I said, are we killing ourselves? He says, no, we're training to avoid dying on the mountain. But that moment, every time somebody asked me, so from that moment, that was my last worry or fear of heights. And now, I mean, in the past, I went to KL and I came to this Twin Tower.
Yes.
And I hesitated
Petronas.
to cross
Petronas.
I hesitated to cross the transparent bridge.
Yes.
But later on, I mean, I would
just
just run
natural,
through it. I would do tricks for the kids to scare them and my wife. And all my friends.
So you're saying what got you through the whole fear of heights was just exposure.
Facing it, exactly.
Facing it.
So it's a psychological thing, right? Is it just, so what would you say is more important? Is it more important to be physically fit or psychologically fit, or the other way around?
This is the difference between endurance and sprint.
Correct.
So sprint, if you do short distance, high intensity, you just need to be physically ready.
Correct.
When you do long distance, low intensity, even or high intensity, but it's physically impossible. When you do low intensity, long distance, you require the mental readiness because you will always have the question of stopping. It's very natural for a person. The moment they leave their comfort zone, something unconscious tells them, why are you here? Just drop. You don't need this.
Correct.
This is not your area. This is not your terrain.
Yes.
You leave, you go.
Yes. Yeah.
So this is when it comes to the high. So we define ourselves as athletes, as endurance athletes, because we do long distance, low intensity. And this requires a lot of mental rather than physical readiness.
Yeah, because I think, I mean, that would make you a motivational speaker. Because what happens with people is that mental challenge they can't face. It's not the physical challenge. I'm sure a lot of people are capable of doing it physically, but mentally they lose, don't you think?
Yeah.
And I think that's what you should be doing. You should be going out and telling people what to do.
I am. We're doing it here, I mean, free diving was the most for me when I look at when I say 90% of this particular sport is mental and 10% is physical. Nothing compares to free diving. So for 2 years or 2.5 years, I was holding the national record of longest breath hold.
Oh my God! How much?
And
how many?
5 minutes, 12 seconds, and then it was broken by 17 seconds by my friend. And then it was broken by another 10 seconds by another friend of ours. So we just kept breaking each other's
records. But you were the first.
But I was the first person to break the 5 minutes. I was the first Qatari to break the 5 minutes record.
Fantastic.
And when my friend told us, how are we? We signed up for a course, and he says that on the last day I will do static apnea, and this is where you guys train for breath hold.
Yes.
So it's not about depth, it's not about endurance, it's about
It's
you
just
relaxing, you are then holding your breath, and that's it. And this is 100% mental, has nothing to do with your physical.
So we can still do it.
Yeah, I mean,
Our
you
age
train,
and all.
you train.
I
do,
heard
you do,
Kate
you do.
Winslet on that movie, the Avatar Part
Yeah.
2. She was able to hold her breath for almost the same 5-6 minutes, I think, just with training.
Just
So
with training, exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
So we can still do it.
Yes. Yeah, we wish.
We did a 5 days course, and on the day one, he says, you guys will test now. If you break 2.5 minutes, or you break 2.5 minutes, then you can. I can easily help you add another minute or minute and a half.
Wow.
Wow.
We said,
I'm
okay.
not sure how long I can hold the breath, but I have this habit of sinking to the bottom of the pool and just like doing a Zen-like
Yeah.
meditation thing. But I'm sure that's different with the sea.
I mean, buoyancy.
Buoyancy issue, right? Because the
Yes,
salt
yes,
level
yes,
and all that
helps
stuff.
you,
Yeah,
helps you-
it makes you go up.
Last time I checked, I think I can hold for up to 50 seconds. That was when I was still active. Now I don't know. With all these things, I'm sure your family is playing a big role into supporting you with all of these adventures, the time management and all. How can you give us some tips on how you were able to manage all of that?
All right.
Yeah.
As much as I can, I train in the house.
Okay.
So
if
you
I
have a
do-
full-time
good.
gym?
Yes.
Okay.
So
All right,
when I
that's
do,
good.
I have my weights, I have my bicycle, I have my rowing machine, I have the elastics that I need for
Okay.
flexibility, I
Yeah.
have all the mats,
Yeah.
and I try to do it with the kids.
Okay.
Great.
So that allows me to kind of balance,
Spend time with
Yes.
them as well.
Exactly.
And
Also
Yeah.
get
train
them
at the same
introduced
time.
into something that will add value to their lives.
Correct.
Nice.
Which is
Rather
a
than me
healthy
doing
habit.
it, which is a good practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there were times where it's peak training, and I have to spend. I mean, there were times where we spent 17 hours over 2 days, of which 12 hours was day one, and then 5 hours day
Oh
two.
my God.
So 12 hours of swimming continuously, non-stop. We had a 30 minutes break. I had a 30 minutes break every 5 hours.
For food or
For food, hydration, prayer, toilet, whatever
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
But imagine every 5 hours, I had 30 minutes break. So the whole 12 hours, I had 3 breaks. One is after the first 5 hours, second was after the second 5 hours, third was
Amazing.
when I'm ready to go home.
oh wow.
So I used to train in several pools on the same day because the operating time of the pools. So
Yes.
I would start my day in Qatar University and end my day in either Aspire or Sad Stadium. So I signed up in 3 different swimming pools in order for me to be able to do the block. I got special permission as well to access while the kids are before the public time,
Correct.
where clubs athletes are training
Correct.
from them and from here and from there. And,
Yeah.
it was very difficult.
Yeah. Would you say that you have achieved at least some of your aspirations in terms of what you want to do in adventure sports, or are there more goals that you have?
No, I think what I want to do is more than what I have done, way more than what
Way
I've
more
done
than-
here. Because I always think that we can do more in here, we can do more in there, we
Like
can do
what?
more on that. I don't know, traveling. I would love to travel more. I've done 100 countries almost, and
Yeah.
I want to do the rest of the
Fantastic.
world. With cycling around the world, I've done 12 countries. I want to do more. With sailing, we did 1 ocean, but I did 2 oceans, but I aim to sail all the oceans. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
including the southern,
Including
Southern.
Pacific?
including
Okay,
the
including
So
the Pacific. Okay.
we want to do all of those things. Yeah. And when it comes to sports, I haven't done an official Ironman. I would love to do it.
Okay.
I want to try with the martial arts. I want to try groundwork because, for example, jiu-jitsu or judo. This is the only discipline that I haven't experienced. I mean, I've done a little bit of jiu-jitsu, but nothing that I would feel confident.
Yeah, there is a sport in India. There's a martial arts in India, in Kerala, which started in Kerala, which actually went to China and Japan.
Alright.
It's called Kalari Paitu,
Oh yeah.
and it was taught with sword fighting. So it's an amazing. You should try that as well,
should,
because also it's a
read
question
more
of
about it.
yoga, and it's a combination of a lot of things, including medicine. So they teach you how to, look after yourself, look after your body. I mean, I don't think I'll do it because it's vegetarian, but but otherwise.
Yeah. Well, aside from Ironman, what else is the next big thing for you? Which you could probably tie in a cause or something that that you know that has more impact.
We have a project, ongoing project,
Oh, okay.
which is after the English Channel. So
Okay.
the English Channel swim in 2022
All right.
was an arch to arch. It's called the challenge is an arch to arch,
Arch, yeah.
which is 500 kilometers from London to Paris.
Okay.
So this is where I swam.
Yeah.
My
So
leg
from the
was
Arc de
swimming.
Triomphe to right up till, is it Arc de Triomphe?
Yeah, so we start with the Marble Arch in
Yeah,
London, and
yeah.
then we end in Arc de Triomphe in Paris.
Yeah.
So this is where my leg, my role is one third of
One-third.
the whole challenge, which
Supposedly,
is the English Channel.
but 18 hours. 18
So
hours.
my friend ran 140 kilometers. I swam the 54 kilometers,
Oof.
and my third friend cycled 300 kilometers. So we did this 3 challenge, and we had a cause, which is building a school in Ghana.
Fantastic.
And we want to continue now. So we reached about, let's say, 2/3 of the amount that we want to
raise, yeah.
to get.
To get her.
And now we want to do another challenge.
Okay.
But this challenge involves rowing.
Rowing.
Yeah. But because 2 of us we played rowing for the national team. So technically we're professional rowers. But physically we need to get ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now with work commitment, we try to start soft, but it's something that we're aiming for next year.
Fantastic.
And it's going to be the first circumnavigation of
Qatar.
rowing.
Wow.
360 kilometers.
Okay.
It's called Qatar 300 because we can't do 360.
Yeah.
Yes.
300,
And then back again, 600.
Exactly. So it's going to be called Qatar 300 because we'll start from the border of Qatar Saudi and end at the border of Qatar Saudi.
Fantastic.
And that's going to be 6 days.
Yeah.
We'll row between 60 to 80 kilometers per day. And then we aim to cut the distance. And
How long would you
register.
think this whole half circumnavigation or
Yeah.
whatever, how long do you think it will take?
6-7 days.
6-7
approximately,
days.
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
460 kilometers.
Okay. And how many hours per day approximately?
8 to 10.
8 to 10
So we've been training 8 to 10 hours. And then we would camp on the way. So we have already calculated the distance. We already spoke to the Ministry of Sports for the permits and the approvals. So we're sitting the ground. We spoke to one of the local TV stations as well to support us filming. They did the onshore filming, yet to do the offshore filming.
Fantastic.
And we're just training softly, but because the peak of our training will only be, let's say, early before the next summer.
Correct.
So we have about a year of preparation.
Yeah. So
Does it have to be just the local TV, or do you want to like go on Netflix or something more Discovery, National Geographic?
yeah.
We think the importance and the challenge is suitable for the local
For Qatar,
audience.
okay.
We don't think it's pushing the limit when it comes to the international audience
Alright.
that they would find it.
So you're doing it for
fascinating.
more for the charity?
We're doing it's a combination of both. First, to motivate the youth that you guys just go off the boundary and stop thinking of I'm waiting for this to give me the sponsorship.
Correct.
I'm waiting for the official gym to
Yes.
open next to my door and do it.
Correct.
I'm waiting for the air conditioned facilities to be there, but just go and push the limits. Stay
push the
under the
limits.
sun for 10 hours.
Yeah.
Do train and use the boats. You don't have to wait for support, and you don't have to say I'm busy with work and complain that you don't have
Fantastic.
time. But just push the limit, and it comes from our time. We don't ask. We take it from our annual leave. We go for training camp, and we pay from our pockets. We don't
Yeah.
wait for sponsors. We don't wait for that.
Excellent.
It's more of a personal investment, and we're willing to do it. So that's one of the messages. And on the other side as well, it's
Isn't that fantastic?
That's great advice
support for
for
charity
people,
and
yeah.
humanity and
Exactly.
and the
But
world,
that's such a powerful message.
Very inspiring.
Charity, inspirational, aspirational, and adventure sports all rolled into one, and doing it very well.
and fun.
And
Yeah.
fun.
Fun.
Yeah, fun.
Don't leave
fun,
out
fun
fun.
for you, not for the wife and the kid.
Fun for us as well.
Don't leave fun out, yes.
I think that when we look at our friends, we do everything together. So we travel
Yeah.
together, we catch up on the majlis together,
Yeah.
we go and camp and cook on the beach and fish together, we dive together, we do the Ironman together.
Yeah.
And it's
You
good
basically
to find
motivate each other.
like-minded people, and then you get
Excellent.
to do more things. You know,
All Qataris.
The four of us is all Qataris.
Fantastic,
We've done all of
fantastic.
that. Yeah.
Great, great. I think that's one thing I need to have someone to do something with, like going to the gym.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause I don't have anyone to go to the gym with.
Don't believe him. Don't believe him in for a minute. He won't go to the gym. He just keeps telling me he goes to the gym. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back just after this short break.
Yes.
Welcome to the Change Makers.
So, welcome back. Leo, would you like to start what
Yes.
the next segment is all about?
We have been talking about a lot of exciting things with Fahad's life and adventures, but the next part is, I think, the most exciting.
For us, it's the most fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's called the rapid fire.
True.
Okay, and we're going to put you on the spot. Now, the whole deal about the rapid fire is it's rapid. So, you can't give a long answer. It has to be short and sweet, maybe one line,
Yes.
one word, one this thing. Yeah? Leo, take it away.
All right. So, favorite quote that gets you through the day?
You can't do it.
Ah, good one.
You can't do it. I just do it.
I just did.
Yeah, so Michael Phelps or Sir Edmund Hillary?
Edmund Hillary.
Oh, lovely.
And I
Okay.
have a reason for that, if I
Okay,
may.
yes.
Okay.
He's done it when nobody has done it before.
True. That's true.
He's done it when, and he opened the path to
That's
the rest
true.
of the world. Yeah.
That's
Yes,
true.
yes,
Phillips
yes.
is nowadays when thousands of people have done it before him.
Yeah.
Although he broke, but he followed other people's paths.
Yes.
Yes.
Edmund Hillary, he is a pioneer,
Pioneer.
pathfinder.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I've got a hint of what your answer in the next question is, but ocean or mountain?
Ocean.
Yeah.
Water is my element.
Yeah, you
Yes.
said the
Yeah, you said that earlier. If you were to teach the world one thing, what would it be?
Breathing techniques. It gets you through everything. Tension, sports,
Yeah.
performance,
Yeah.
rest of the day, bad, horrible conversations, breathing techniques,
Yeah. Take a deep breath.
traffic, everything.
Yeah.
I would actually do road trips and if we're bored or long flights with my friends, and then I would teach them breathing techniques.
Breathing techniques.
We would be sitting in the camp, so winter camp board, and I would teach them breathing techniques.
Excellent.
I would sit with the kids and just not long hold breath, but proper breathing techniques.
Okay.
So it's always something that I love doing.
So when you talk about breathing techniques, what is it? Is it about a deep breath in, hold, and then let it out, or
Yes.
how does it work?
First is control. Second is where do you take the breath. So it's more of a diaphragm
Correct.
reflex
Yes.
rather than normal.
Yes.
Throat or something.
Exactly. And then I start from the very basic is when you see a baby and they breathe, what raises up is the stomach.
Correct.
But if you see an adult, what goes up is the chest.
Chest.
So we taught ourselves unnatural ways of
Yeah.
Breathing,
and
yeah.
it's not necessarily the right way.
Okay.
So I teach them how to breathe from the stomach, and then that helps them with everything, even including tension, including withstanding needles if they scared of needles.
Yeah. I'm
Everything,
not- but-
everything.
Yeah.
Next question. Best kind of martial arts for you?
For me, Muay Thai.
Muay Thai.
Yeah, because it's the 8 points. It's elbow, it's hand, it's knees, and it's feet.
Okay.
So we multiply them by 2, then it's
16.
8 points.
8 points. Oh, wow. Okay. I know you like the height, as in this thing. But if you were to choose between two particular disciplines, one of them would be an ace pilot, say like a Top Gun,
Okay.
or sail America's Cup, sailing the world,
I would say sailing the world. For several reasons. One,
Yeah. You're a water person, firstly.
One,
Yes.
and the second is the teamwork.
Correct.
Everything matters. Every
Yes.
movement.
Yes.
Yes.
If you run too slow on the other side and your boat is like this,
Correct.
Exactly.
then you affect the whole team.
Correct.
Top Gun, you're alone. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just
Whatever
flying on your
happens,
own.
Yes.
you will stand the 35 millions price of the of the fighter pilot. Of the fighter jet, yeah? You fail the military
Yes,
trial
Correct.
alone.
Yeah, that's true.
But I love the teamwork rather
Yeah.
than solo. Yeah.
So you like the whole because it's supposed to be one of the toughest races, right?
it
The
is,
sail
of course, of
America's
course.
Cup
Exactly,
sail thing. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
One last question from me before
Yes.
you go.
Yeah.
With your last question as well. How do you want to change the world?
How do I want to change the world?
Yeah.
I mean, less conflict, because conflict is always
Yes.
horrible. So it's
Okay.
the
That's a lovely one, lovely answer.
the
Less
conflict.
conflict.
Lovely
conflict,
answer,
yeah.
lovely.
In
Common
all
ground.
areas.
Everything can be
Yes.
solved
Yeah.
with talks,
Yeah.
conversations, with communications.
Yeah. How do you want to be remembered?
As the person we approach for support, for guide, for help, for whatever it is.
Fantastic. As a mentor?
I don't know how to say no. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know how to say no. Somebody asked me for
Just
something,
take out the checkbook and give it to
but I don't know how to say no. So
That's
yes,
why you've been
yes.
saying yes to all the challenges that come across your way.
yes, yeah.
I mean, my parents think that my friends push me to do all these things, because I tell them, he tricked me into
challenged
it.
you.
He
He
tricked
told
me
me to
to-
do
he
it, so I
tricked
just
me.
did it. Eventually,
But you like to do it.
I like to do it.
I like to do it.
Definitely, I love to do it.
If someone who's watching this video wants to get in touch with you, whether it is in terms of mentorship or just sponsorship or whatever, how do they get in touch with you? What are your social media handles? If you can just tell the thing.
I mean, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, but the most active platform I use is Instagram. So
Okay.
it's Buenain at Instagram.
Okay.
And then we have several accounts that I'm managing as well. It's
Yeah.
Qatar Hiking for hiking,
Okay.
Swim Qatar, which is the team that swim, and Arch to Arc,
Yeah.
which is the team that challenge. So we
Challenge.
have all these 4 platforms that
Yeah.
I can be reached on, and I'm managing these 4 accounts
Okay.
for the swimming, for the mountaineering, for the whatever it is.
Fantastic.
Traveling.
So you heard it here. If you want to get in touch with Fahad, these are the social media handles that you can have.
Yeah.
I am on YouTube at Sakala's Life, and
I'm on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, BTS.
Yeah.
Again, at the famous Korean band, but behind the success.
yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for doing this, Fahad. We really,
Thank you.
really appreciate it. And thank you for your time.
Thank you for
and
having me.
onwards and upwards, and best of luck in all your
Thank you.
future stuff.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so
Appreciate it.
much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Pleasure is ours.
Pleasure's us.
How many times have you heard these phrases?
Change is the only constant.
Is it too late to change?
If only I could, I'd really want to change this.
In this channel, you don't have to wonder. We're going to interview people who really make a difference to this world.
Let their stories inspire and empower you to create the change you want to see.
Who knows, you could be the next change maker.
Welcome to the Change Makers.